If you're thinking about moving to Jamaica, just do it. Okay, but don't let anyone discourage you.
So we packed up our kids, packed up our family, and we moved from Canada to Jamaica. Everybody look how we like, we're crazy. Like, why would you do something like that?
England is not easy, and it is not for the weak.
So the question is, if you crossed the border and you wanted to go back home, you wanted to go back to Jamaica, how do you do that?
I came to America and learned how to drive a truck. I have never driven a truck before until I came to this country. This country will teach you independence. If you don't know independence, this country will teach you independence. I am going straight back home because if I was at home, I would have so many family members to help me do stuff.
Welcome to this channel, guys. If it is the first time, kindly subscribe, like, share, and leave your sweet comment. To my returning subscribers, thank you for always coming back to watch my videos. In this video, guys, I'm gonna look into a matter that has been happening of recent. Some of the Jamaicans have been moving in large numbers from abroad back to Jamaica. What is the reason? Most of the videos that I've been looking at people sharing their perspectives, their experiences, and what prompted them to do this. Let's look at these videos before we get back for more comments.
I was told to go back home to Jamaica by a Black American man, and this is the reason why. So the other day I made a comedy sketch about Caribbean people seeing an American soap commercial for the first time. This is how it went.
Their sleepy eyes. Morning's here. Time to come alive.
Basically poking fun at the fact that we never see a washcloth in one of these soap commercials. You're not going to see one because obviously they're advertising the soap. But some people didn't get the joke, or they were offended because, hey, I'm not from America. And this is what somebody had to say. So I was told by this big tub of lard here, Omar Velos is dead, on Instagram, to stay out of America then. So I said, you sound like racist white folk. This man said, how can it be racism if we're all black? I'm just suggesting that y'all stay in your own country since America is so bad. Not once did I say America was bad, but let's continue. I said, you sound like one. Anyways, you displayed how fragile you are as a man with your response. White folks didn't even react the way you did. You just showed black immigrants how xenophobic some of our black American brothers and sisters are. This is a skit, for Christ's sake. This is unbelievable, brother. So he replied to a comment that's up top that said, it's the other way around, sweetheart. Stop playing. Another person who's offended at this skit. Then he replied under that comment and said, they have the nerve to come here and judge us. They whole country still living like slaves. What? Excuse me? Huh? Then he told me I gotta keep those slave arms nice and tight. We were trading insults for insults, but he was more so on the racial side of things when I didn't bring up race at all. Not white or black. Chinese, Asian, whatever race is out there. Not once. I just said American. But this black gentleman here, who shared the same color as I, said that I gotta keep my slave arms tight. Then he said, anyways, this was fun. Bye, Kunta Kinte. All racial and slave insults by someone that's black. You'd expect this from someone who's white, but no, that wasn't it. This individual right here hates black immigrants, and it's clear. It's so crazy how you as a black individual got the same ancestors that I got using slavery as an insult. That's wild. Man, it's just sad, man, that someone that looks like us is telling us to go back to our homes, sounding like racist white folks. You know, I've never been told by a white person to go back home to Jamaica. It happened twice. This is the second time, and both incidents happened with someone who looked like me. So all black immigrants, I just want you to know that not all black Americans are like this individual here. So don't treat your black brothers and sisters any different. But this gentleman and people with his mindset are very dangerous.
One of the number one questions I get about moving to Jamaica is, how did you move to Jamaica? What was the process like? What did you do? First and number one, guys, it's mental. And when I say it's mental, I mean that you can't overthink it, okay? You want to move, you got to get up, you got to do it. It's going to be a process. Even if you're moving to a city right nearby, it's just like that, but on an international level. So first you have to accept, okay, I want to move somewhere. Boom. Do it. If you put too much thought into it, you're going to talk your way out of it. Trust me. Try to put too much thought into things that it doesn't need to be that complicated. You're going to figure it out along the way, because that's what I did. I'm going to be honest with you. even before I lived in Jamaica, I was living in Bali, Indonesia. Did I plan to live in Bali? No. It just was like, boom, fell in my lap. And I was like, all right, I guess I'll just hang out here for a little while. Get up, decide what you're going to do. Start making a list of the things that you have to do to prepare, whether that be save money, whether that's start looking for school for your kids, if your kids are going to transfer, start looking for housing, figure out how you are going to support yourself at wherever destination you're going to go to, and just start doing it. Will I say save money? Of course. I mean, anytime you move anywhere, you got to save some money. So if you're moving on an international level, you might want to save more than usual. All in all, don't put too much thought in it. Get up, go, do it. That's what life is about. You gotta take risks sometimes. I had no idea what I was doing when I got to Jamaica. I really kind of consulted friends and family along the way. Just like buying a car. It's a process. Yeah, you gotta sit down and do some research. But I can't really tell you a step-by-step plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G on how to move internationally. Because it all is boom in your head. I'm gonna tell you that. I'm not trying to be so generalized, but I'm just trying to be realistic, honestly. Like, babes, I just winged it. Love y'all.
So since I became a dual citizen of Jamaica and the USA, a lot of Jamaican people were asking me why bother, because the Jamaican passport is so useless. Here are some reasons why I decided to become a citizen of Jamaica and honor my heritage and the beauty that my country has to offer. Buying land. If you ask me what makes you wealthy and rich, it's not having diamonds or designer clothes that can easily be taken away. It's having land. Once you get that land, it's yours forever. If you've read Rich Dad Poor Dad, the author always talks about real estate and how it's an important asset and one of the best ways to make money. Investing in real estate in Jamaica can make you have a lot of passive and residual income. Reason number 3, getting a TRN number so you can go ahead and start making finances and making money in Jamaica. And so you can open a bank account so you don't have to pay foreign transaction fees every time you visit home. Next reason, getting local discounts. It always used to pain me having to pay foreign prices when me know say me come from Jamaica. Local discounts are always a plus. Traveling to Jamaica as a local, not having to join the long foreign line whenever you get to the airport, supreme. Also, getting the opportunity to easily travel to other CARICOM countries and being able to work in other CARICOM countries. These countries might include Belize, Trinidad, Guyana, and wherever else you decide. So those are just a few of the reasons why I decided to get a Jamaican passport. Jamaica is extremely rich and wealthy. We just need to be able to see it ourselves. Having 2 passports opens up a world of possibilities and opportunity that you might not have ever known. So if you have the opportunity, go ahead and do it.
I'm trying to go to Jamaica this year. Then here is the 2024 Jamaica requirements. I just got back last night at 1. Jesus, I just got back from work. But this is all I needed to go to Jamaica. 1, you need your passport, your U.S. passport. And then you need to go to enterjamaica.com to get the C5 form filled out, which is the customs. They don't give the paper on the plane no more, so you have to do that. When you enter Jamaica, then you have to go to the kiosk and scan your passport. Then we'll ask you, is this you? You say yes. And then we'll take a picture of you at the top. And you'll take that printout out and your passport. You'll take it to the custom people with proof of the form that you fill up. Then you will have entry into Jamaica. Yes, it's that fast. To come back, you just need your passport, basically.
You know, say American people really disrespectful and have no manners. I travel all over the world and I never encounter them something yet. Imagine, me I go which part I don't know and this man stop me and come talk about, hey shawty, come collect this banana. I say, excuse me sir, collect which banana? I don't want your banana, I'm a Jamaican now collect banana. So I'm from America come collect banana.
Someone asked me recently if I wanted to move out of the US and move to Jamaica, how much do I realistically need to make to live there? So yeah, let's talk about it while I take out this heatless curl. I think how much you need to live in Jamaica is determined by the type of lifestyle you want to live. Let's start with what Google says. Google, you need between 650 to 850 USD. I think that's actually doable. You probably don't live on your own in Kingston. Try not to shop at expensive grocery store chains. You know, you're probably gonna meat shop instead of buying your meat at the grocery store. But if you want to live in Kingston in a really nice apartment, gated community, do your hair, nails, lashes every week, go out, and things like that. If you want to afford all the luxuries, I think you need to start looking at having 2,000 USD per month and up. Jamaica is not a cheap place, but let me know in the comments what you think.
In America, all you do is work your ass off for all these beautiful things that you have, and you just look at them and you're just depressed I literally one night prayed. I had to get down on my knees in my bedroom and pray to Jesus that something would change, because I was sure that I was going to make it out alive.
So the question is, if you cross the border and you wanted to go back home, you wanted to go back to Jamaica, how do you do that? Well, folks, it is very simple. You just buy a plane ticket, get on the plane, and go back home. You will need a valid passport and you will go back home. The problem would be coming back into the US.
I definitely felt like this comment needed to be highlighted because that is my sentiment exactly. That is literally all you need to do. When you're there foreign, make your money, save your money, and that's the way how you can move back and live in Jamaica comfortably. So all the people them where say, oh, I really wish we could have done that, but I don't have the money. Here what you do. You see, for the next 2 to 3 years, maybe up to even 5 years, you work hard and you save your money. So when you got yard, nobody behave like say, yeah, Mr. or Mrs. Robin Hood, you know. I feel like say you have to give it to everybody and whatever, because at the end of the day, you will go back now and if you go work, be overtime because you are trying to make back all the money where you spend for your trip. I remember, so the flight itself, not cheap. And I don't know, something about when you go foreign and go to Jamaica, you can't move like a regular Jamaican again. All of a sudden, you can't walk in a sun. You have to charter a taxi. So transportation prices gone all the way up. You catch look at accent, so people start charging a little extra. Your friend and your family, them come tax you. So I know the trips can be very, very, very expensive, but it's up to you to budget what you can manage. And never, ever, 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 ever. But you have to take a loan for go on trip to Jamaica. Like, why would you do that? Like, literally, I've heard of people doing this, and I cannot understand why. The idea is that everybody's trying to bring this persona, like them rich, create this facade, you know? Like, them have it and foreigner go and good for them and them something. Them are pretend. But at the end of the day, if you just actually be honest and stay true to yourself and your pocket, and realize, alright, only 100,000 I have to spend on the trip here, and you stick to your budget and make sure so when you go back, you continue and you save up again. Because not wrong if you enjoy your money little. You can't just save and not spend nothing. You have to enjoy yourself now and then. But just ensure so you spend wisely. Never squander the money and then you end up, you look 10 years time, you're still there foreign broke and can't go home. And you have to stay in the depression and the sufferation because you need to earn consistently. Save your money. Simple.
I came to America and learned how to drive a truck. I have never driven a truck before until I came to this country. This country will teach you independence. If you don't know independence, this country will teach you independence. I am going straight back home because if I was at home, I would have so many family members to help me do stuff. I am moving straight back home. Look. And a U-Haul van and everything. Listen. I am not the girly that you think that I am. I do want to be a girl. I am a girl. I do want to be feminine. But I'm not allowed to in a country like this with no man. And I'm not just going to take up any man just to say I have a man. Okay?
So one of my dreams is to move back to Jamaica at a young age. But I can still enjoy life. Not to move back at the typical 60-65 year retirement age. So I follow this couple TikToker, right? And they were living in Canada and they moved to Jamaica. They moved back to Jamaica, young couple, you know, and that is one of my dreams. And persons are gonna come under their account and say that they are lazy. America is not what it cracks up to be. Trust me. America will have your mental health in a whole. Most of us here are suffering from anxiety and depression who are living here in the States. Only difference with America and Jamaica is that there's more job opportunities here. If you want to work a 24-hour shift, you can work a 24-hour shift. You can just work straight so if you want. That's the only difference. But if you don't know what you're doing, you will be living paycheck to paycheck, and that works on your mental health because you're always thinking like, how am I going to pay this bill? Oh my God, another bill is coming. And it's just a bit much. It's like over here not really make the one person live. Especially right now, yes, we are in a recession. Especially right now, if you not have a partner or if you not have some family member live with, trust me, I forgot double up on the job. Double or triple up. You understand? Enough people over here do doubles, 16-hour days, and it works on your mental health. You don't have any time to spend with family, you don't have no social life. So coming from a culture where it's more lax, and I wouldn't say stress free because stress dead here, but it's more lax, and you come here, it'll go work for your mental health. And moving from anywhere you're from and to a new place, it takes adjustment. Like, no one better than yard. And when I say yard, it's wherever you are originally from. So that is my dream, to move back to Jamaica at a young age. I am happy for the opportunity that was given, and I'm not being ungrateful, but that is my dream and that is my desire.
There's something in the water of Jamaica. I don't know if it's in the ear. I don't know where it come from. The moment I reach Jamaica, I look better. My skin clear up. You see this? And all of this started the minute I came back to the US. The minute I was in Jamaica, my skin clear up. Body get good. Alright? Skin just nice and one color. Pretty. Just okay. I was glowing from the inside out. I just look like island goddess, just perfect. And I really think my whole nervous system just calmed down, and I relaxed, and I just, for the first time. And I don't understand how this happens, because Jamaica is a chaotic place. I can't even drive in Jamaica, come I'm just nervous. I'ma learn though. I'ma learn. But either way, in the US, I don't know what it is. Like, is there something in the food that affects my skin and my energy and just like how I feel about myself? And then I go to Jamaica and I'm just happy. Like, I don't even have to do anything all day. I could just sit on the veranda, look at the hills, happy. Eat a mango, happy. Simple life. I just want to sit down and relax and chat and chill. And I don't even know if this is a good thing or not, because it feels like I can't get my work done. I feel like nothing even matters anymore. I just want to relax by a river, by a beach, eat some fish, chill, chat shit, drink some whatever, and just bond and enjoy the moments. And when we're here in foreign, I'm just like, what do I need to do next? What do I need to do next? What do I need to do next? And it never stops. So I'm really trying to understand, like, should I move to Jamaica? Should I live in foreign? Should I find some in-between type place? Because it's like life is short. I want to enjoy my life. But life is also long, and I don't want to suffer. I don't know, man. I just confused. I'm originally from Jamaica, but I moved here right before high school. So I spent half my life in America, half my life in Jamaica. And for many, many years, traveled back and forth to both countries throughout the year. And this is what I have learned, and this is what it has taught me. I'm going to start little TED Talk series really to myself and just to get my thoughts out on here, but in a perspective of someone who was raised in two different countries almost simultaneously, and what that has done with even learning my identity, me learning and figuring out who I am, what I feel. Yeah, it's just a lot has changed. I think it all relates back to me really understanding, like, no, this is who I am. So obviously when you move to another country, it's a new learning curve. You have to learn how they talk, you have to learn how they do things, what the culture is like, what you can or cannot do, what you can or cannot say. And I'm going to take this little journey and try to talk about the things that I remember learning moving to the States from Jamaica, and even learning things as an adult now about Jamaica. I want to admit that there's this thing when it comes to moving to another country at a young age, where you go through a sense of identity crisis for a few years. You don't understand if you're fully from your own country
Or you've been here so long that, do I claim this country? Like, all in all, I'm Jamaican, so I'm prideful. So I always claim Jamaica. America, it nice, but it's not Jamaica. When I first moved here, I used to come here during the holiday season to visit my mom. And I used to watch Disney Channel and Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network and ABC Family and all those shows. So based off how they spoke or did things, I would sit down and actually like mimic what they were saying so I can sound more American when I talk to Americans. Because I'm a child, I want to be accepted. Even though I love my accent, I love how I sound, I love how we talk. But you understand, people, them ask too much question when you don't sound like them. We can't bother with the question. So I'm going to continue having videos like this where I talk about transitioning from one country to the other, specifically Jamaica to the US. And if there's anybody on here that can relate, I definitely have a friend or two that can relate. Drop your 2 cents and, you know, all in thing there.
So me decide to move back to Jamaica. And before you come with all the violence, all the poverty, we are try left. Just bear in mind, some never ask. So I always remember, so everybody have them own preference, everybody have them own life to live, everybody have to make them own decision. So if you don't agree, fine by me. But personally, I don't feel like someone need for their foreign. I mean, most people leave Jamaica. The same story, they want to make more money, they want to get a job or pay well, this and that and that. But personally, me run my own business, so I don't really need for their foreign. And the reality is Jamaica is one of the easiest countries to start a business in. I don't have to take my word for it. Just research it and you realize that they're in like the top 10 countries, I think. So what you have to understand is that every country have them negatives and them positives. It's just up to you, the life where you want to live and what works well for you. And personally, I don't really feel like saying nobody want to leave Jamaica, you know. Them just want money. So if you can find a way to make money while you're in Jamaica, then you're good to go. And yes, it will be a process. I'm not going to just get up one day and say, alright, I eat this. And technically, I'm still going to be coming back and forth because my family is here as well. So, yeah, it's not going to be something that's so solid. But personally, I just feel like, say, what's the point? If every time I travel to Jamaica and come back to England, I just feel stressed out and depressed, well, me I come back far. And one thing you might not know about England, England is not easy. And it is not for the weak. So, you see, if you want to be an entrepreneur like myself, England is not the place to be. England is one of the hardest countries to start business in. So, trust and believe, you ain't missing nothing over here. But yeah, man, right now, it makes no sense for me. I take my money every minute I go to Jamaica and I come back, I go to Jamaica and I come back. For me, I come back far.
Comment down below, would you guys move back to Jamaica? Have you guys moved back? Are you guys thinking about it? Would you never move back here? Because I know not everyone's life was nice here. So I'm going to give you guys 5 reasons why I decided to move back to Jamaica full time. So the first reason is because I wanted to. I wanted a lifestyle change and I felt like I come here so much, might as well I just move here permanently, and I don't regret it. Second thing is, in Canada, I was just working and working and working, and that was it. I worked, I shopped, and whenever I went out, I always compared it to Jamaica. I'm like, the vibes are not the same as Jamaica, so I never enjoyed it. And then I was just always thinking about Jamaica 24/8, so I was like, I am just moving back here full time. Yeah, I'm better. Next thing is, this is something I've always wanted to do ever since I was young, but I just needed a game plan. I needed to know exactly my income, how it was looking. I needed to be able to sustain myself while I was in this country. And thankfully, see how God works in ways, YouTube was that source of income that I was able to live here freely and be able to make money. So, and the next thing is, nothing beats simplicity in life. I think once you've been on that level that you've achieved so much stuff and you have so much things and you're just like, man, nothing would be being able to live somewhere where warm all the time, like you're surrounded by greenery and you're just enjoying the simple things in life. Listen, I know I sound so like Valley because people say it all the time that I sound Valley. Jamaica, the way you feel down here never comes. It just never never beats anywhere else I've been. Like when you're in Canada, you're like, oh, if it was Easter right now and I was in Jamaica, I would be doing this. If it was Christmas right now and I'm in Jamaica, I would be doing this. So I was just like, you know, why don't I just move here full time? And plus my life was more fulfilling. I was doing YouTube and I was able to showcase my life here in Jamaica. So I was like, yeah, I'm just moving back. I'm moving back. And like the culture, food, music, people, vibe, everything was me. And I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna move back.
So a lot of my friends and family, particular in Jamaica, asking me what is my experience being in Canada, because they want to make the transition. Now, this video is not to discourage anybody from coming to Canada. If you feel like Canada is a place that you want to come and live and, you know, start your family, feel free. Don't let this discourage you. But I want to share the realities of Canada. I've been here for the last almost 6 years, and Canada has been, it's different. From after COVID, Canada has changed significantly in a number of areas. And I'll speak to some of the areas that I think Canada changed a lot in. When it comes down to taxes, Canada, I think, have one of the highest taxes in the world. So the more money you earn, the more tax you pay in Canada. It's like the higher you climb is the higher the government take money out of your pay. So you're paying, as I'm up to 47% of your income in Canada that goes to tax. So it's very, 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 very tax heavy in Canada. The other thing that I noticed in Canada is that after COVID, the price of food went right through the doors. Like literally, you can go to supermarket with 100 Canadian dollar and you come out back with absolutely nothing. Just probably, if you get 2 bags with $100, you get a lot. Food over the last 2 years, particularly 3 years, skyrocket high. The cost of living versus what you're getting for your pay, what you're getting for to buy for food, absolutely ridiculous. The other thing is rent. Now, Canada have this. So before COVID, you could get a 2-bedroom for like 1,100 Canadian dollars, $1,200. Now, after COVID, the same apartment, the apartment that I live on, I got my apartment before COVID, so I got in a very comfortable rate for a 2-bedroom apartment. Now, I have some friends who moved from Jamaica, and there are some vacancies on this apartment, and they live here, and they're paying $1,800 for the same 2-bedroom. And when they move, the landlord charging $2,200 for the same 2-bedroom. So rent in Canada, it's very, very, very expensive. When you talk about the healthcare, now Canada have free healthcare because they use the taxes that we pay to provide free healthcare. But when you go to the hospital, is that it's no different from an underdeveloped country where you're waiting hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. Like literally you're waiting for 8 hours. You go to the hospital from 7 a.m. in the morning, you're not getting through, and I kid you not, you're not getting through until around maybe 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. That's when you actually get to see a doctor, because there is a shortage in the healthcare workers. There is no doctor, and you can't go to a private doctor. You can't say, all right, you have your money, so you're gonna go to a private doctor. Canada not deal with private doctor. The rich, the poor, everybody goes to one hospital. Furthermore, you can't even get a family doctor. There's a 6 months waiting list to even get a family doctor here in Canada. The other challenge with the reality of Canada is, honestly, Canada boring. Canada boring. There is nothing to do. It's good when you have like your own community, that you can have that level of culture. You know, you have the Jamaican community, you have the other ethnic groups who have their community. Community is big. If you don't have a community in Canada, man, Canada is boring. Now have nothing to do. So I'm grateful that here we form a nice little community where people can display culture, you can talk your language, you can cook your food, and you just feel Jamaican. Without that being present, Canada boring. So a lot of people just work in Canada and save them money so that they can travel to different countries. That's what I've been doing over the last couple of years. Like I can't stay 12 months in Canada. It's not possible. It's not possible. Yeah. So at the end of the day, Canada is still good in some instances where, you know, the crime and violence is not as bad. They have good gun laws, but overall, if you're not a strong person, if you don't have community and you don't have the support, Canada is very, very depressing. And grateful to be here, and I'm not discouraging anybody from coming. You can come and you may find it to be good. The other thing is I want to mention is that with this current government, what they're doing, they're reversing a number of the immigration programs that they had for people to get easy access in Canada. So a lot of temporary residents, a lot of people going back to their countries. Trust me, if you do the research right now, a lot of people going back to their countries because people just cannot afford to live in Canada anymore, or the government make it so difficult for persons now to obtain permanent residence in this country. But still grateful to be here, but I just wish things will change soon. That's just my reality of Canada.
If you decide to run off, come a friend though, I'm tell you what you're gonna need. This is a must. If you got it, you're gonna need him in every angle. You're gonna need God. You have to learn to pray. Because it's alone that will keep you sane. If you decide to come to America, prepare yourself mentally, because you are going to be depressed. Depression is going to be your best friend. Depression is going to look in at every angle. Yeah, man. Depression, I got just a depression, I got just say, you ever play tug and war yet? I said depression, I got all and pull you. Yeah. When I was coming here, I met 3 girls and a child. 3 girls, and one of the girls let my one daughter, we are 12, so we try to come through together. Come on the same plane, we did stay at different hotel, but we link up in a local part that we come through Panama. And you see me, if anywhere me go, people always like me. Because I'm genuine. You say if I'm going to help you, I'm going to help you genuinely. I'm not help you if you even tell me thanks. If you want to tell me thanks, it's your business that. The thanks for you going to tell me are for your own good. I'm genuine. So I tried through. You see, I leave Panama and go Cancun before the girl them. Because I one day layover me did have in Panama. Them must be 3, 4. I never have the time for that because I never have the whole heap of money for spend I go through. So when I tried it in Cancun, I meet 2 more girls and 1 man. Them come from TG. We end up stay at the hotel together. Could it, remember say we never buy a flight ticket for go to Tijuana. Because you know you can't have that yet. But at the hotel, let's say with the people them, I mean, I walk up and I try to get ticket in a car. I really want to stay too long and then I kind of have a mission. I use my time wisely because I was supposed to only stay there for like 7 days. The people them buy them ticket and don't tell me. The man and one of the girl them. And one of the girl them said, me I leave them, I say leave go. But she said, we get flight. I said, really? And then she start cuss the guy and say, come like some batty man. Imagine you and the girl that walk up and down from morning and you get a flight, but you could make the girl jump on it. Anyway, she tried a thing for me, but my card never work at the time. The NCB card never processed the transaction. It keep on a decline or something. Fast forward, I go through all the stress, you know. End up get a flight for go to Tijuana. 6 o'clock the next morning, I'm go. I go through something. Meet an immigration man. Immigration man give me his number. I'm gonna walk the girl them. The girl them we come over now. We chat over with me. Them come over in the night. I'm gonna walk them through the process. I don't gatekeep nothing. I make them know what to say, what to do every little thing. I guide them right through. Yeah, so when them reach and we end up, they're not the one at the same hotel. I tell them where to come. One of the grandmother send money for, she send 100 US come give me. I said, make that girl buy a juice, man. I like that girl or something. I would try it, I would go through. Then I would see him hotel, different room. Me in that room 301, them in that room 302. We walk up and down because when I come to a whole heap of little drama I go through, you know. Come back. Whole heap of little drama I go through. So the whole I will come through the swamp together, like literally alligator swamp. A 4 hours walk from. Come through the swamp. We are walk from 6 o'clock to about 10:30 at the night. 4.5 hours to walk through the bush. It's when we are walk, me hear some animal ball. Although when me watch African show or Discovery Channel, alone, me hear them animal the inner. You don't know after all of that we go through, 2 of the girls go back to Jamaica. We come up April, May, June, July, August, September, the girl them say them can't get the pressure. Them not make the pressure kill them America. Them take a plane and go back to them yard. And these 2 girls, they came here and they were with their mother. And their mother them there, in that New York. And them go back to them yard. So them not make depression kill them love. So you have to strong. Prepare yourself because the depression is real.
I don't know your story. I only know mine. But I have a free healthcare walking up and down within Canada. And I am so sick with my back, my hip. According to Dr. Cancer, according to Dr. Hypertensive, according to Dr. Diabetes. And I would not want to walk into another healthcare in Canada because 1, they don't touch you. They will not do your vitals. I have never get my vitals done since I am in this country, and I've been to a lot of doctors here. Nobody will touch you. Secondly, they don't speak to you with respect. And the kind of health care that you get here, and bear in mind, I work in the hospitals here for 2 years. I work at Michael Garant, I work at Toronto Western, I work at Toronto General, I work at Princess Margaret, I work at several retirement homes, I work at several long-term care. Right, so the care that they offer is different. Our pay here will only be $20. It will not raise. The only thing that increase in Canada is the rent. Every year, the rent increased by $50. Every other, quite frequently, the phone bill, the internet bill and the phone bill raise every 6 months. So what we earn will not be able to sustain our rent as the years go by because our pay will never raise in Canada. Food. The dearest food bill in the world is Canada. And Canada food, they are highly toxic. They are highly chemicalized, if there's such a word. Okay. So, the food, the chicken, the meat, it's loaded with chemical. What else do you point to? Right, so Jamaica, when we return to Jamaica, I am looking forward to sit in the clinics whole day until I see a doctor or something. Because we won't be going back home to any health care like what we used to have working with the government. So we won't have that anymore. Right, so when I used to have health care, I used to have to sit at the doctor whole day too. Because my doctor in Portmore is a good doctor. And when we go to doctor read a whole day, we sit down and wait. So I am used to that. So, the family system that you're talking about, I don't have family in Jamaica. My mother and father and sister and brother, everybody abandoned me as a baby. And in Canada, the only family I have here is Chris. I have nobody here. In Jamaica, we hear my neighbors, them attack each other, and as somebody say, we have the puss and the cat and the dog and the rat down there. So, your experience is different. Crime is here equally. I don't even go out late again here because we are people of color and the egg our home. We live in Toronto for a while and it's here we move and they pull our home with egg because we are colored. So I don't know where you are. I don't know your experience, but I know mine. One of the other distressing thing is that because you have color and you have your qualification, it means nothing. I came here and I study and it still means nothing. They think I'm from Jamaica where it is primitive. They don't think we used to have water. They don't think we have light. My boss left his yard and come here to teach me how to wash pot, how to hold Scotch Brite, how to make 2 sandwiches with bread. So they think I am good for nothing because of my color, and that is one of the most devastating feelings that one person could ever have. That feelings of nothing that you have in Canada is worse than going to Jamaica and cannot afford to buy food. Is a dangerous feelings you have here. Secondly, here I am the most qualified and I'm the cleaner girl because they think I can't do anything. So enjoy yourself in Canada. We are looking forward to going back home to go.
So thank you guys for staying tuned up to this time. One of the reasons that I've realized that Jamaicans are moving abroad in large numbers from the UK, the Canada and the United States back to Jamaica. One of the reasons is about the bills. The life in Jamaica is not that easy. They have to work hard in order to keep up with the life. The houses that they are staying, the rent, etc. The costs is just high. The bills in US as compared to Jamaica and also in Africa, the bills are not the same as the ones that are in the United States, and this is why the Jamaicans and the people of color who are in abroad, that is the UK, the Canada, the United States, you find that them working for like 2 to 3 jobs. That is a lot of hours in order to keep up with the life. For instance, in Africa, you can find even a house worth $50 US, and this is a house fully that is has almost all the needed amenities or the requirements. But this is not the same thing in the United States because just renting a house is not that easy. And so by working these long hours, you find that they even have less or no social life at all. They are working like zombies to the point that they have no time for themselves. They have no time for friends, even family. It is just coming home. After home, you go back to work, home, just like that for a long period of time. So there are some who are realizing, because of some of these reasons, are going back a yard to Jamaica. Also, from the videos you have seen the rising cost of living, irrespective of some of their disposable, or rather their income increasing, they are still in the same kind of cycle, just working to pay for their mortgages, their loans, their credits, etc. And just like that. Also, there's a bit of racial discrimination abroad. This is not like Jamaica. There are we have had some of the cases, like in the United States, the guy who was the no breath, the guy who died because of he was discriminated because he was a person of color. Also, the job opportunities, some job opportunities, they are being favored. They are given to the whites and not the people of color. Also, the education. It is said that when in a country like United States, most of the people who are being employed, it is hard for you to go from a continent like Africa and just go to the United States and be employed in some of the big jobs like doctors, etc. But unless you go there and get into the education system without applying for those jobs, because I've had cases of people who are educated from Africa, but when they go there, unless they go back to class, they can't go get the same jobs as the other people. That is one of the things about the discriminations. Also, there's some people are planning, or the Jamaicans are going back to Jamaica because of reunion. You'll find that there are some who have been there for many years. Maybe they have just been coming to Jamaica for a short while and then going back. And now they have decided to come back to Jamaica to reunite with their families, with the food and with the environment. In one of the in the clips that I've specially compiled, I've seen one of the ladies talking about the environment and the weather, and every time she goes to Jamaica, her skin comes into light. But the moment she goes back to the United States, her skin develops pimples and sort of it's not clear. That is to show you that Jamaica, the environment of Jamaica is so good, and with the beaches, etc., the natural food makes people to live a good life. Also, when it comes to stress, you can't compare the stress that people face abroad as compared to the one that they face ayad. Living abroad is, from the research, it is like it's more stressful. A country like US, people having guns all over. I know Jamaica, there's some form of violence, but it cannot be compared to, and the violence is not, you can't say that it's rampant everywhere. The violence in Jamaica is mainly concentrated in the urban areas, but most of the people who are traveling back to Jamaica, most of them, I'm sure, would love to settle in the countryside area where the mountains, the natural environment, plants, good hair, etc. But a country like United States, most of people are with gangs. You have seen in previous years, there have been cases where shootout here and there. Even the current elected president, Donald Trump, you just saw the other day, there was an assassination attempt on him. This is due to people owning guns anyhowly. Also, Jamaica at this time has had some development, especially in infrastructure. It's not like the way it used to be 20, 30 years ago. And these are some of the reasons making them the people to move back. In the videos, the process of moving to Jamaica has been clearly elaborated or spoken about. One of the persons is telling you that there's no formula to move back. As long as you are financially prepared, you have to work hard, save, so that when you're moving back, everything is okay. You can be able to maybe move some of the things that you have with, or maybe you can sell. And one of the guys has said that when you're moving, you don't have to get a loan so that you move back to Jamaica. Also, you have to be prepared psychologically. One of the details that has been shared that I really liked about is how to travel, the latest passport requirements on how to travel to Jamaica. One of the guys said that it is easier to travel out of US, but it's harder to get back. And with the current president in power, there's a video that I specially compiled about some of the policies that are detrimental, not only to Jamaicans, Caribbeans, but to some of the third world countries. This is the video.
Trump has won again. We had a reprieve for 4 years, and now he's back. What does that mean?
Mass deportations now.
It will be the largest deportation in the history of our country. We have no choice.
A rough evaluation states that 11 million people or immigrants live in the United States illegally. 7 million of these immigrants are known to the authorities. What's more baffling is that more than 70%, nearly 80% of them have been in the US for 10 years or more.
Deportations would likely clog up the courts, which are already beset by backlogs. Trump also plans to use a 1798 wartime statute known as the Alien Enemies Act to rapidly deport alleged gang members, a law that was used during World War I and II to intern people of Japanese, German and Italian descent, and whose use would almost certainly be challenged in court. Trump's plan would furthermore require a huge law enforcement force, massive detention facilities, airplanes to move people, and nations to accept them. In practice, the cost is likely to run into the tens or even hundreds of billions of dollars. The implications of such a policy could also fundamentally reshape the country's economic landscape. Unauthorized immigrants represent about 4.8% of the workforce. If the plan targets them, sectors like construction, housing and agriculture will be hit hard.
Donald Trump has been on record saying that immigrants are poisoning the blood of the United States, echoing the words of Adolf Hitler.
And it's true. They're destroying the blood of our country. That's what they're doing. They're destroying our country.
Despite Kamala Harris showing empathy to asylum seekers, she was not voted in.
Most people don't want to leave home. And when they do, it is usually because either they are fleeing some type of harm or they cannot take care of the simple and basic needs of their family by staying where they are.
In his first presidential term, Trump effected travel bans on majority of Muslim countries, brought about a policy of separating children from their families at the southern U.S. border, and progressed to erect a wall alongside the U.S.-Mexican border. Having been elected for a second time, Trump promises to go much further, promising to facilitate mass deportation using the U.S. military to nab millions of immigrants and send them back to their countries of origin.
And they do come from prisons and mental institutions, and they are terrorists. And we're going to be paying a price, and it'll be the largest deportation in the history of our country.
Right now, as we speak, Donald Trump was voted in, and the undocumented immigrants from Jamaica, from Caribbean, from Africa, all over the world are in panic. And not only the undocumented Jamaicans, because the policy of or what Trump is planning to do is not only going to affect the undocumented immigrants, but many more. Stick around as I break down. You know, a lot of Hispanics, Hispaniola, and Cubans, especially Cubans from Miami, voted for Trump.
Donald Trump doesn't like Latinos. Donald Trump said he was going to remove all Latinos from the United States, a massive deportation. So now it's going to be harder to get in. There are going to be new laws, new regulations, new rules, and now it's going to be harder for us Latinos to get there.
Some did that out of feelings, or maybe because they are Republicans, etc. I understand everyone has equal rights, and it's the right of anyone to vote whom the person they like. But Trump has been on record saying that one of his first policy will be to deport all the undocumented immigrants. He said that during the campaign period that he's going to launch mass deportation of the undocumented immigrants. You know, when you are deported from the US, it's very unlikely, it is very hard to get back to the USA. The point of re-entry is going to be actually hard. One of the things that makes it hard is one of the policy known as the 1996 Illegal Immigration Reform and Immigrants Responsibility Act. This act is a law in the United States that blocks or bars immigrants with a history of illegal presence in the United States. This act actually can ban you from going back to the US or re-entry into the US for 3 years or more than 3 years. Let's say, for example, you have a visa and you have been lucky to get or have a presence in the United States, and your visa expires. If you are found to be occupying the United States for between 180 days to 1 year, you can be banned for 3 years. And if you are found to be illegally occupying the United States or having an illegal presence in the United States for more than 1 year, you can have a ban of like 10 years. This is one of the laws. So imagine you being found there, being undocumented in the United States, and with the policies of Donald Trump, and then you get deported to your country, maybe Africa, Caribbean, or whichever place, it is very unlikely for you to get a chance to come back. And you know, leave alone even the people who are having illegal presence. There are some people who are there legally and they're trying to maybe to verify their visas. But it is said that there are some even who takes years and years to get their visas to be approved. There are some who apply for like 6 to 7 times. Every time they apply, their visas get rejected. And you can imagine you whom you are undocumented, you have been deported, and then you are trying another chance to get back. It's gonna be hard. Trump is also planning on using the National Guard, so the National Army. And not only that, he is planning to employ like around 10,000 more workers to help in effecting some of his policies. Also, he plans to invoke what is known as Alien Enemies Act. From these videos that I've played, you've heard about the act. This is an act that was in the 18th century. It is actually a law of the 18th century that permits the United States president to deport non-citizens from hostile nations to the United States of America. So you can be there, but by the virtue or by the fact of you being from a hostile nation, you can be deported. And some of the let me just list or mention some of these hostile nations that are listed as, or rather are listed as hostile nations. The first one is Burma. We have China. We have Cuba. We have Eritrea. We have Iran, Korea, Pakistan, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Algeria, Central African Republic, Vietnam, and a few others. So if you are from these nations, they can just you can be documented, but they can just look for some mistakes or legal flaws here and there, and you will find your way being deported. You know, a lot of people try their best to find their time or to find their way to the United States. The United States is said to be a land of green of dreams. There are many people going there with the intention of working and supporting their families back in Africa, in the Caribbean, or whichever place. So by Trump effecting or invoking the Alien Enemies Act, is gonna affect really big. There is also a policy, another policy known as Remain in Mexico policy. You know, a lot of these immigrants, most of the illegal immigrants tend to find their way in the United States by using the Darien Gap, that is through Mexico. So there's a policy that Trump is planning to effect known as Remain in Mexico policy. That is, if you are from any other nation and you're planning to seek asylum, they'll confine you in Mexico until your documents are processed, or until you are cleared to enter the United States. Imagine maybe even if you found your way in the US, you'll be taken back to Mexico to be held there, and this can cause a lot of stress, because maybe the illegal immigrants were trying to find their way into the United States, and they got that chance, but now they are being taken back to Mexico. This can cause some to run away and try to make at least some living. So it has been on record, because there's some cases where there are some people from China, the Latinos and Africans that have been seen getting into the US through Mexico. So this law is likely to affect them. Also, one of the things that Trump is planning to remove was some of the special agreements that the former administration, that is Joe Biden, was effecting. There were some special agreements of allowing people meeting some certain requirements from some countries like Haiti and Cuba. They could be allowed into the United States. But now, since he is planning to effect the mass deportation, this is likely going to affect more people. You know, some countries like the Haiti, Cuba, they were having things like humanitarian parole, etc. These were affected by Biden, and now Trump is going to remove most of them, most of this. Also, Trump is likely to introduce ideological screening. That is, if your ideas are bad and are not in line with whatever that they want, you are likely to be deported back. Maybe you have been posting some things on your social media. He's gonna have some team to try to look at you, to do background search about you, and some may find being deported because such kind of reasons. So you can see such kind of policies. It does not mean that you are not only undocumented Jamaicans, Caribbeans, Africans, or whichever other people. You can be documented, but an act like the Alien Enemies Act can find you being deported from the United States, especially with Trump being now taking the helm of the United States. Such kind of policies are very dire. There are some people, or there are allegations that there are people saying that such mass deportations can be costly to the United States of America, because it takes billions of dollars of taxpayers' dollars to effect such kind of policies. So there are some people that are saying that they are likely to go to court and challenge all this. Also, a lot of people will find that they're going to be locked in detention before they are deported. When they are locked, they have to be fed. They have to be food has to be provided to them. They can't be just left like that. So there are some people who are talking of going to court. Also, there's another thing about illegal births. Trump is saying that if you are, a child is born in the United States with parents who are illegal immigrants, the said child is not going to be taken as a citizen of the United States by birth. So such kind of policies it is alleged that some people are going to go to the court and defend them. So it is what it is. It is bad. According to me, according to my sentiments, if I was a member of a citizen of the United States, I would have voted for Kamala Harris. But now that Donald Trump is in power, I'll just sit back and see how things unfold. And you know, during his first term, he meant what he said. You can see he erected the big fences separating, or the big walls separating Mexico and the United States, and introduced other policies which affected some people. But now he's going to do it even more and more. And having now the support of almost all the executive, the legislature, the Senate, it's not going to be business as usual. So this has been the video for today, and I wanted to tell you that the mass deportation is not only going to affect the undocumented people, that is the Jamaicans or whichever part of the world you're coming from, but it is also going to affect people from the alien countries, etc. So cheers guys, this has been the video for today. If you are not subscribed to this channel, do me a favor by subscribing to this channel, liking this video, commenting down, and also remember to share this video. See you on my next video. Cheers.